Life can live in many ways and can have the most interesting habitats. One of the most hurtful things to wildlife and plants is a natural element that destroys. Fire is one of the most destructive and has no life that guides its flames, and only fuel can make it grow. But what if those flames had lives of their own? A village of flame that has its wants like a human. But no words guide these people of fire. They are more silent and can communicate from their body and actions with their flames. The village has had a long time of peace despite them being a dangerous element. They mostly make fuel for themselves to live and play with each other to pass the time. But we are here not to explore their culture, but we are here to see two fires discover their brotherly bond. Finton and Kihei are brothers and have a dream of their own. They would like to explore, but because they are in a dormant volcano, there is not too much to explore. Even though there is a mine that goes straight down, nothing was found but the fuel for their people. But Kihei wanted to dig other ways, and not just down. Kihei is the one on the right, and his little brother, Finton, wanted to tag along because he saw his brother's vision, and believed him that there is another place than the volcano. So in their free time, they would dig a hole in the side of the volcano with, not their hands, but rocks used as pickaxes to mine forward, with a hope of someday finding something great. But the bell then was ringing, and was the time for one of their people, their princess, to come out and partake in rituals for their people to pass. So the brothers then went onward towards their village to celebrate these rituals. As they got down from their tunnel that they dug, they saw the princess in all her glory. To their people, she was beautiful, and had on 2 stone cones that represented the glory of their home. But Kihei always wondered why it was amazing. He thought there was more to this, but that wasn't just their volcano. Their ways always confused him, but always ignored them. But the reason he came was not for the rituals, but to see their princess's face. After the rituals were done, the brothers were digging again. During the days that followed, the princess had gone missing. Everyone was looking for her, but could not find a trace. While the brothers were digging, Finton looked back and saw the princess run by their cave. Finton shook him, telling that he saw the princess, and so they ran toward where the princess could have ran to, running into a dead end. After looking around, they found an odd-looking piece of rock that had edges outlined and out of place. Finton looked at it curiously and decided to touch it, thus revealing a secret passage. He looked down the intriguing stairs leading down into darkness. However, they were never afraid of the dark, but fire embodied the light. After looking at each other, they headed down. As the stairs twisted downward, it only got deeper until the steps had ended, and saw a lit torch in the middle of the room, illuminating pictures. So they took a closer look and found a strange drawing of mushrooms and other strange things that seemed to be coming out of the ground. Looking at another one, they saw cracks on the flooring of the picture, and saw what seemed to be their kind floating above the cracked flooring. The mound in the background flowing something toward the cracked land. It looked like the little mounds back home that would flow with lava, but to them it was normal and didn't see anything bad about it. As they trekked down the path with drawings, they saw a light, but not an orange light, but a white and bright kind. Finton dashed toward the light while Kihei lagged behind trying to keep up. They then found themselves somewhere bright with cool but bright colors of something they couldn't have imagined. Nature. As they ponder and look around at the foliage that befalls them, they touch the trees with fire. But before they could do it, someone appears. But it wasn't someone, and was breaking the long trees, stomping and coming closer. They then became scared and wanted to go back, but the exit was no longer there. Just smooth rock with nothing to give. As they turned their heads, they saw something that was made of bones and had short arms screaming a loud vocal cord towards them. They run away and try to find a place to hide, to get away from the strange creature. But alas, the chasing continued. After finally getting distance from the creature, he hid away below under a log, waiting out the beast's presence, as it looked around trying to find him. Soon enough, the beast's presence was no longer there, so he got up to look at the scenery, and then found a source of blue that looked very intriguing. As Kihei touched it, the parts that interacted with it seemed to have dosed his fire, hurting as he fell back. Then he hears rustling in the bushes, and looks behind him to see that same princess looking back from above in the bushes. They meet eyes for a few but brief seconds, as she ducked back into the woods. and when he was getting up, he realized someone was missing. Finton! His brother had gone missing. He then climbed back up the edge and ran back into the forest to find him, with a burning worry in his eye, wondering if he would see his brother again. Ki-Hai ran as fast as he could into the forest and tried his best to find him, and only finding black marks around the forest was his only guide to finding Finton. The trail then stops, finding no one in his way. He starts to panic, wondering where he could be. Suddenly, the princess once again appears. Ki-Hai's fire in his eyes then began smoldering upon seeing the beautiful princess. She then points to a direction, signaling that she knew where Finton was. He then followed her quickly to find his brother. Running through the woods with a girl that he liked made his life feel amazing. Looking around, still curious to where he was as well. When they came to their destination, the princess then tilted his head to face the creature's nest. They then looked at each other, with Ki-Hai being nervous about his first encounter with that creature and princess. She was drawing out a plan with Ki-Hai and pointing to the different images to the soft brown ground, directed him to wait out while she went to find his brother. Ki-Hai was confused by how brave the princess was, and wondered how she was so brave against that monster. When she went into the den of that monster, he wanted to have a closer look too. A bowl filled with sticks and other sorts, with a small fire inside of it, indicating that it was his brother, while he was looking from afar. Suddenly, the loud vocal cord roared once again, this time chasing the princess. Wanted to save her, he wanted to go after her, to save her. She raised her hand with her small rocks, making a long, straight line, pointing back to the nest. With a sad look in his eyes, the princess and the creature disappeared into the forest. He then went toward the nest, hoping he would at least find his brother safe. He descended into the nest to see the small fire he had become bigger due to time. When he looked into the nest, he saw his brother in pieces but still on fire. He panicked and tried to wake him up, but he wouldn't. His eyes started glowing brighter with disappointment and sadness, looking at the broken and frail body he tried to protect. With fear in his eyes, he runs away with flames growing brighter and brighter than ever before, with anger that he could not control, now erupts from him, now burning everything near him, crying out and questioning why this new world would take his Finton from him. Finton saw with his weakened eyes his brother's path that he made, then closing his coals again because of his body's weak state. Finton began assembling himself back together, piece by piece, constructing himself back together, slowly. And loud stomps came closer with the dinosaur coming back, but with the princess on his back. As Finton opened his eyes again, he saw the princess on the monster that tore him. Scared, he backed away, scared, wondering why she was on its back. The princess then gestured toward him to jump on its back. With worry, he looked into his eyes, and because she was one of their people, he closed his eyes and jumped on the monster's back. They then dashed toward where Ki-Hai was burning. As they got closer to Ki-Hai's fire, Finton put his rocks together and made a loud clack sound to get his attention. As Ki-Hai looked behind him, he saw the princess and his brother. After looking for a few seconds, his flames got calmer and then dozed to his normal fire. Finton jumped off and went to hug his brother. Thus, that ends the story of companionship.